Coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
They're going to hit a gas line and there's going to be a tragic incident occur. It's going to happen. It's just a question of when.
Tonight, a Lubbock homeowner fears tragedy is one cut away. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Despite recent cut gas lines, new data shows the number of those mishaps is decreasing in the hub city. And KCBD News Channel 11's Brittany Crittenden joins us in the studio to look at why the city says its plan to reduce dangerous leaks may be working. Brittany?
Well, Karen and Abner, we've seen cut gas lines shut down major roadways, lead to the evacuations of neighborhoods, and even explosions. In September of 2022, the city passed an ordinance to fine contractors who hit lines. City leaders believe it and more awareness are minimizing the risks. Rolla Randall lives in Northwest Lubbock.
You'll be able to see this is marked. This is where it's marked at
He's lived there 26 years, but as more fiber cable goes in the ground, he's noticed more contractors and utility companies hitting lines near his home.
He lost his internet line. They dug it up.
Crews hit 2 gas lines near his home on Monday, within a mile of each other within hours. He says carelessness and time constraints are to blame.
All up and down the sidewalk there, you can tell where they've got the lines. So it's clearly marked.
Yeah.
It's clearly marked. They're just not paying attention to it.
When gas lines are struck, Lubbock Fire Rescue must respond. Crews keep fires like this one from spreading to homes, monitor gas levels in the air, and evacuate residents. That takes 3 engine companies, a truck company, and 1 battalion chief.
That's 5 units that we're committing to the scene for something that was 100% preventable. If there was a cardiac arrest 1 mile down the road, they can't go to it because they're at the scene of the cut gas line. If there's a structure fire 1 mile down the scene, they can't respond to that because they're on this cut gas line. The
engineering department monitors and responds to these issues in the right-of-way across Lubbock. City engineer Mike Keenum says those doing the digging aren't always to blame.
Sometimes it's not the contractor's fault. Sometimes the lines are mismarked, and so we can't fault the contractor if the line was not marked correctly.
Keenum says marking underground lines is not an exact science, using up to 100-year-old records on ground that could have shifted. While mistakes happen, he says the city is trying to minimize them. In 2022, it passed an ordinance to fine contractors who hit gas lines. That year, 72 were hit and 16 citations were issued. Last year, 53 lines were hit and 27 citations were issued.
You know, we saw just from 22 to 23, the number of hit gas lines went down pretty significantly. We're still early. We're 2 years into that, but I think the awareness, everybody trying to be proactive, working together, it's gotten the attention, I think, of everybody, and that's healthy.
The city can also pull contractors' registration, something it did twice last year.
If we've had people that just have multiple offenses and just aren't showing any good faith effort to improve, then we don't have a choice but to say we can't let you work in Lubbock anymore.
For homeowners who've dealt with these issues for months, Randall says the consequences may need to go one step further.
If the individual contracting company cannot be held accountable, then let's hold AT&T and Vexus's feet to the fire. They're the ones that are paying the contractor.
Along with the ordinance, Keenum mentioned awareness plays a role in reducing these numbers. 1,000 people visited a Damage Prevention Council conference in Lubbock in May, learning about the dangers of cutting lines and the consequences. He hopes the conference will continue each year. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Brittany.